There you go. So we're going to do the same thing all over again.
So you need the cutting board?
No, we don't. He's already done the, you don't need the cutting
Oh,
board.
okay, these are scored.
These are scored.
Okay.
Thus my production issue. See now right here, Philip, I don't need a white, I don't need a light. I can see the perforation is right there.
I can see it too.
Sometimes it's really obvious, and sometimes you sit there and you go, ugh.
I've got some pretty bright lights in my living room.
Yeah, I need to work on that in here. Bend over. Yep. Beautiful. Now, pull it down. Beautiful. Squeeze on top. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Yeah, and squeeze and... Okay. Your wire? My wire. Okay, under your left thumb, remember, in the middle, take your right, bring it over, and it's on top. Then bring your left underneath, and I put it then underneath my pointer finger, and bring it right to the middle, and then twist clockwise. Why clockwise? Because that's what I do. Since I fix my students' reads, I don't want to have to think of whether you're twisting counterclockwise.
Sure, and righty-tighty.
It makes my life easy. It makes my life easy. It really, there's no right or wrong to which way you twist. It's just, it's one of the few things I do want to control.
You're just making sure that there's no, that the wires don't jump. What do you call that? Cross.
Cross. Okay, so can I help you with this?
Yes.
Okay, so here's where your rub is. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to cache this piece of wire.
Because you can't really rework a wire because it'll fail.
You can actually, but it's just easier to do this, especially when we're adolescent.
Sure.
Okay. So this is where your problem is. You're not knowing what to do with your back finger. All right. So the thumb is out, and you see my back finger is back there, right? I'm bringing it right underneath. So it's really kind of like right up there. And then my finger is pressing it down at the same time. I'm going to bring this one right up and hook it right under my thumb. All right. Now this one, I'm actually going to move my thumb, bring this around. Do you see that? But the minute I bring it, I'm going to put my finger right back there.
Okay.
Then this goes under here. And so really you have one wire pointing that way, one wire pointing this way. And then I grab them right in the middle, because otherwise it makes my life harder if they're not in the middle. And I just twist. And that way then, you know, they're not crossed. Okay. What did I do with mine?
Right here. Is that it?
Thank you. Sorry. Okay. All right. And I grab my Mandrel reamer. I got my Mandrel. Bad. All right. So then, remember what we're going to do next. We're going to grab the wire. We're going to give it a yank, providing it's at about 1 inch. Okay, and what that does, look at mine, see it kind of flattens the wires out in the back? All right, and all that's left is that triangle. So this is where then we're going to place it, and let's look. Again, yes, such a creature of habit. See, now yours is low, right? So then you're going to adjust up with your wires, and I could think you could even pull it just to give it a little bit more tug, Philip. It was almost a little too easy for me to maneuver. Okay, so now tighten that up. You're going to grab the ends, and see how I'm pulling? Yeah. So if you have a wire that's just a little, just do that.
Okay, if they're kind of spread out apart from each other, if they're not right next to each other, you can do that. Little.
Now, if I can still do this with my fingernail, that means it's not tight enough. That means that you're going to have a wire crack, the reed crack. You want it tight enough so the reed doesn't crack, and you can also, look, can you see in there? Do you see space? Yeah. You see space there? Mm-hmm. The reason why you have space here is because on that initial pull, you didn't twist it tight enough. You didn't pull it tight enough. You may have twisted, you didn't pull. Now, and here's another thing too. Look at my twist versus your twists. You see how mine are a little longer?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a little bunchy. So if your twist is fatter, that means you didn't elongate it enough. So look what I was able to do with yours. That was from, and now this is not gapping back there. Just really about 2 twists, Philip. So it's not like you're doing bad. See? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, get out your mandrel. It's this one. There you go. Okay, you're going to grab your reed with the grippy part of your needle nose pliers. A little closer to the tip, not the tip, the bottom, Philip. The bottom. You want to get a little closer to here. There you go. Okay. Do you see how I'm holding mine? Mm-hmm. Why don't you turn yours away? Yeah. Yes. Put it in your right hand. There we go. Okay. Now you're going to take. You're going to give it just a little squeeze. And you're going to do that. You're going to hear it crack, and you're going to go, oh, it's okay. It needs to crack. It's not going to be flat anymore. It's going to be round. Now, mine, what I love, is I keep doing this, and I know where to go on mine. Yours is always a new and exciting experience.
Because you have that shoulder.
I have the shoulder, and mine is actually a different curvature than his is. That's. I know that sounds craziness, but it's all about that curvature.
Okay.
All right. So now you're going to hold on for a little bit because right now I'm at the do or die part. So I have got to finish mine right now, and then we will do yours.
Okay.
So then. We're 1/4 inch down. We do the same wire process. Over, under, boom.
But you're making the twist on the opposite side of the
other one.
other one.
It's on the opposite side.
It's a different grip because you're kind of using the mandrel.
Yes, now I've got the mandrel in my hand.
And the reed.
And the reed, so.
But similar, the same technique, wrapping it.
Same technique. It's actually a little bit faster because I'm no longer having to hold the blades together anymore.
Right.
So thumb on top. This one, I don't even have my finger underneath that. I just bring it around on top, secure it with my thumb, bring the other one underneath, twist in the middle.
And this twist is on the side of the top one.
Top and bottom are twisted on the same side.
Okay.
It's 1/4 inch from the bottom. Okay. So now you're going to see gaps and stuff like that. That's fine. Okay. Now then we're going to use the smooth part of the needle nose pliers. And right in between the second and the third wire, top 1, 2, 3, I'm going to squeeze, release, turn, squeeze, release, turn. And what I'm doing is I'm forcing the cane to take on its new shape.
Which is round.
Which is round. Then I do that beneath. I do not do it here. So you only do it between the second and third, and from the third to the bottom. This part that I'm doing right now is crucial the better you do this, the less you will have to ream. The less you will have to ream, the more you will have integrity of the cane.
Because the cane will be thicker.
You're having to abuse it less.
Okay.
The less we have to abuse it, the better off we are.
Okay. But I see you're using a combination of you're squeezing with your right,
and then I release,
and then I turning
turn.
with your left.
Right.
Turning
now,
with the
after
hand.
this, then you're going to see these two wires might be a little bit looser, specifically the third. So you reposition that third wire, give it another, usually 2 twists. Done. Okay.
Should you check all 3 wires?
Now you don't have to check the first.
Okay.
I bend the wires up. I just do that. It's just habit because I'm always putting them. I never have weeds long enough to be on a drying rack. I usually, I dry them and then I stick them in my reed case usually.
Okay.
I've got a big, so because they're gone as soon as I make them. All right, then the first wire we're going to bend down. Now, let's look at this. Okay, so we have just a titchy crack above that first wire. I mean, but that's just in the bark and nothing on that side. So again, this...
And that's not going to affect the sound of it.
Not in the least little bit. Philip, I've had reeds who've cracked all the way up here, and they've been some of my best reeds. Feels a little weird under your lips sometimes, but sometimes these cracks also go away if they're right on the superficial part. I'm going to cut the collar right now because this is the wettest time the cane is wet. So this is the part that you are probably going to legitimately not be able to walk out of here and do completely yet, and that's okay. I like cutting my collar now because this is the wettest the cane is ever going to get. It's been soaked.
And you're scoring first.
I'm scoring about an 1/16 of an 1/8 of an inch right above the first wire.
Yep.
Then I'm getting right underneath the bark, and I'm just sliding my knife right into that score.
Okay.
Bark doesn't vibrate, so you want to get rid of this, although I'm being very careful not to do that. Good. What you do to one side, you of course do to the other.
Okay.
Okay, and then if you have anything, they're not like falling off, you just take and rescore. Now, where is that triangle file of yours? Okay, this is your triangle file. Then you just take that triangle, you put it right into that divot, and you do this, and no one would ever know this wasn't a store-bought reed when you're all done. And if you've got any little catches, you always just take it off right now. And then now this is officially what I would call a blank. Now some people say when you wrap it, it's a blank. All right.
Got it.
Beautiful. Beautiful, gorgeous, done. And this is done when it needs to
Dry. Now, how long from this state to when he does the next step to that reed?
I usually let it go at least 2 to 3 days.
Okay, 2 to 3 days.
Right.
Okay.
And if like you have them by your bedside or something, it's going to be weird. You hear, and then all the wires get loose. That's a good thing. That's right. You know how sometimes with the button reeds, how the string separates and falls off? It's because of that. People in the factory, they don't let it dry. They just slap string on it. And sometimes the tip goes like that. It's because they don't stop anything. All right, cool. Now, can I see yours just for a minute? I just need to see where does mine fit on yours?
Oh, right.
All right, so this is where mine fits tightly. Now, I'm going to mark your thing. Is this okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I was going to mark it with a magic marker.
Yeah, magic marker falls off. I just do it with an edge of the trifold.
Philip laughed at that term I used last night when we were making the dowel rack.
Yes.
He said, magic marker, why do you call it that? And then I had to explain.
What do you call
that
them? Sharpies?
Sharpie or a marker.
Okay. Well, because that's
That
when
was-
your dad and I were raised.
When lead was still in the gasoline. And
That's right. And in the paint and
and
in your fish and
oh,
whatever
yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Nice.
see what I did?
That's helpful.
I just took that outer layer off. Now, so what don't I like about this one? Why is it different? For some reason, mine, and I
Yep.
know what the reason is. You see how mine's a little wider than yours is up
Yep.
here?
It's a different
Mine
angle.
opens it a little bit more at the first wire. Mine avoids having to use a forming mandrel. Yours doesn't always have to avoid it. But what I do then, Philip, is if it's on here and I'm just not too terribly thrilled with how, that opening is right there, I'll just take my needle nose and I'll squeeze it a little bit right there to open it up. Okay? All right, there you go. So now we have that. If it's okay with you, since we've been waiting for a while and yours is drying out, let me just give your... Yeah, so you see how yours doesn't open as much as mine does. That's why I don't like these. So what I do with yours is, so I'm at that cut. Can you see where I'm at the cut?
Yep.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually force it down a little bit more past the cut. Don't worry, you're going to do the next one. It's been soaking. All right, on top, around, under. So I'm going to do this fast because I just want
Sure.
you to see what I'm doing. It's a little bit different than yours. Again, you will measure against my reeds. See, now, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and just open it up just a little bit at that wire because it makes me happy.
By just squeezing with the needle
Just
nose.
a little bit. Just a little bit.
With the mandrel in there.
And then I'm going to put this on. Now watch what I'm going to do. All right, so then I'm going to take this, I'm going to slide it back to where
The line.
the line was.
Yep.
So that way then I haven't bastardized the opening,
Yep.
but yet I opened it up a little bit more on top.
Gotcha. Tighten up the wires so they're next to each other before you do crazy tightness.
This one I don't tighten as much as I should. Okay, and then remember, so did I? This one lower for some reason. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, my first wire is just a little bit lower than I would have liked it, Philip. That's okay, you can fix that afterwards. Not a big deal. Alright, and then we're going to take... So I'm not saying they're going and breaking, I'm just giving it a good... And what I'm doing is I'm forcing, you see where there were cracks and such like that? I'm forcing them closed. Now, if you take this off and it's still not round, until yours gets a little bit bumpier, it's going to slip and slide on you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Until the mandrel gets a little bumpier? Or
Yeah,
until the
I'm gonna-
reed?
Actually, I am going to fix this a little bit. Put that smooth coating on it.
Oh, from the manufacturer of the tool. Okay.
And then you can't grip the darn thing. There, I fixed it.
Okay.
All right, then you retighten. Okay, good.